Hey, welcome to the Angel Channel, episode 84. Tonight it's going to be a raincoat for all the crazy solar storms, a little energetic protection from all of that, and a nice cleanse up. We're going to do a really deep grounding on all four bands of our aura tonight. So hope you show up with your work boots on and ready to do some energy work. Really crazy thing just dropped into my lap here. You can see this back here, this thing on the wall back here. Yeah, it's crazy. It's the guts out of a baby grand piano that my friend Jilly ran across and scavenged for me. And we went on a quest to go get it the other day, and I've just been having a blast with it. We have been talking a lot about I'm like really deeply lusting for a monochord, and which is a many multi-stringed instrument, but all those strings are tuned in a single note, so it gives that kind of weird Indian sounding ring. Anyway, right after that conversation, she shows up and you won't believe what I found, and it's super cool. So I'm going to be incorporating that into some sound design and a whole bunch of other things. So super cool, and thanks, Chili. Hey, what's up, Spectra? What's up, Inga? Yeah, I'm glad, man. It's going to be a good one tonight. I'm really juicy. I was sitting outside a little while ago. I'm all lit up already. So, oh yeah. First of all, let me thank my sponsor, Ernie Mosteller at friedokra.tv. Amazing friend and super supporter of the show, and he's really helping me keep this all afloat. So thanks, million thanks, million thanks, million thanks. And my newest sponsor, Audrey Asciutto, I'm getting ready to do a really nice little commercial for her. So we'll have that on the air too. That's yeah, Sebring's badass real estate agent. Hey, Heather, glad you made it. Good for you, man. You'll enjoy tonight. Some good tools. Next week, I'm going to be having Minty May on, my good friend Minty May. And Minty is just a really wonderful medium and psychic and magician, and he really, 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 really knows his stuff. And for me to get to play with him was like sitting down with a really great musician and just jamming, going into some really great jazz stuff. So we're going to be doing some dual readings and having a blast. And Minty's energy is always just really amazing and uplifting. So I'm looking forward to that for you guys. Yeah. All right. So, oh yeah, hey to Og, I feel you out there hanging out on the edge of the woods, peeking in. You can run, but you cannot hide. Okay. So on that note, one of the things we're going to talk about, Og's my teacher, and also my family and really great friend. And anyway, getting to him was quite a little quest, and I'm gonna talk about finding a teacher next week, and kind of how to go even about that without, it's like, oh, I need a teacher. A lot of things are happening and magnetizing to you, and as you keep your energy cool, you might magnetize that. But we'll talk about how Minty found his teacher and who he's learned from, and I'd love for you guys to think about that and share that with us next week too. So you've been hearing me relentlessly bitch about the the solar storms, and that just continues to go on and on and on. And every time we get hit with a new blast of that energy, that cosmic radiation, all kinds of geological things are happening. Like it's I guess it can be a little scary, but at the same time, what a crazy time to be alive and see what's happening all over the world, and now out into the universe, and like experiencing all the volcanic activity, the earthquake activity, the solar activity. I don't know that anybody's like been alive when it was happening like this. Hey, CJ, welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you can't really not like Minty. Yeah, for sure. All right. So anyway, rather than just sit and kvetch about how bad that energy makes me feel, I don't know if everybody else is like really feeling it, but man, it has had a significant effect on me, and I've been, devising some ways to kind of attenuate that. That is going to be kind of the point of the whole show tonight. Get you some tools to get through that, and we're going to do a massive four-layer, four-band elemental grounding tonight, and really get sparkly, man, because it's been kooky. One of the things about that energy is it's a little bit draining, and it kind of like sucks your motivation and stuff. Plus, I don't know where you guys are in the world. Maybe Inga, not so much for you, but man, here in Florida, it's been like hot, roasting hot. Like you walk out the door, boom, you're hit with that like oven, like you open the oven door. And that in combo, and Mercury retrograde finally going direct. Woohoo! That in combo with Mercury retrograde, man, I have had the most Mercury retrograde like last week. It has just been like every time I turn around, even when I have my grip together and I'm not trying to do anything, like this situation just blows up all of a sudden. Like this thing with PayPal and this like whole weirdness with that like I wasn't doing anything, and like all of a sudden now I've got like notices and this and that, and like it was a whole harangue this morning, man, that like made me a little pissy. But just gotta keep patient, keep doing. That's one of the things about this show is like there are tons of talk shows out there, but I really want you guys to, at the end of all of this, when we finish our journey here, that you have some really real practical ergonomic energy tools to use that'll make you feel better, and that's a whole goal of tonight, to do the groundings and get us all connected and give you guys some processes to use on your own when we're not doing this, and really reap the benefits of pampering yourself and your energy and your light. And hopefully at the end of this show tonight, you guys will feel better than when you showed up, and that's really the whole point to this. And as we look forward to just the whole future is just so in flux and changing, and like, man, from day to day, it's really different. So, that's why to have these tools to keep you centered and keep you cool and keep you connected to the truth and the source and the real truth. And, just keep going there and going there and going there. And, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, when we did the ceremony for Adam. That whole like little chunk of time for me was a collection of so many effects and things that I've learned to do over the years that I really needed, like right then. And all of the 50 years of studying, was all about that moment. At the moment I needed something the most, I had it. I didn't have to step back and go, oh man, I never learned that. I need to like catch up. So I'm just encouraging you guys to use all of these little tools and keep them fresh in your own day-to-day life. It doesn't have to be that difficult to like incorporating a grounding like we're going to do tonight. When you get back at the end of the day and you're all grungy from being out in the world, and you get in the shower and you take a shower and the water's running over your head, you're already in the element, the emotional element. So while you're soaping yourself up and getting your body clean, take that time to do a grounding and just go through each one of your bands. And when you do that every day, 4 or 5 times a week, you really keep yourself like as sparkly and clean and free of unwanted thoughts and influences and energies, and you keep your light shining to its fullest potential. And so that's another goal of tonight's show. So we're going to start with with making some sacred space, but we're going to do something a little different tonight. We're going to, rather than using the bowl to start with, we're going to use the word Om, the chant Om. And yeah, okay. Let's get rid of you. Wrong one. All right, let me try that again. The word Om, the chant, a mantra Om, is the most underrated syllable in the world. It is so powerful. And it is just a single sound. And that sound is the universe. It represents the entire universe, not just in concept, but in frequency. And it's like when you're being really pure about it, it's a vibration that like resonates through all of your body, all of your physical and mental parts, and your light body, and it promotes your connection to the universal source. So the symbol of Om is this thing here right in the middle, and each one of these, I thought it'd be cool. Like, I've always thought that was a cool mark, but I didn't really realize that each one of these parts has a specific meaning. So like this big curve down here represents the conscious waking state where we live all the time. This curve up here at the top represents the deep sleep, or the little death state that we enter into, and the unconscious mind as well, the subconscious mind. And this curvy little guy out here represents your dream state, and that space in between the two worlds. Yeah. And last but not least, this little this little curvy guy right here represents a barrier, and this represents total enlightenment and the absolute end of the journey. So encapsulated in all this are all states of consciousness within the universe. So super powerful. Okay, let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. And let's bring this back. Now, even on that little illustration I showed you, Om is most often presented as OM. But the truth of the matter is, its original soundscape were 3 syllables, an A, a U, and an M. Om. All right, so we are going to really jack up our ohms a bit tonight, and I want you to on the initial I want you to draw in with your root chakra. It's the red chakra at the bottom of that, right in your groin, at the base of your spine. And then as you change that to I want you to push that energy up from your root chakra up all the way through your third eye. And then when you hit the M, I want you to blast that out of the top of your skull from your crown chakra. Okay, so what you're doing here, let's see. Okay, so what you're doing is you're starting down here. All right, and we're going to do 3 really good ones of that. So do it with me here. Nice deep breath. We joyously come together to create and share our sacred space, our sanctuary, our place of safety, our connection to the light. We ask that our angels and guides be with us, share their wisdom, share their knowledge, and share their love and understanding of the source. And with absolute gratitude for it all, every single bit, the good, the bad, the ugly, with absolute unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. All right, so we're going to do a little grounding. Here, let's talk about this for a minute. So we are going to do a 4 elemental grounding, band elemental grounding. Your first band is really, this is like a light glow from the body, but this would be around the body as well as this. And right next to your body would be like this white, but it'd be like an inch and a half from the edge of your body. And then out from that, you start to get the colors. And then out from that, you have several different other bands out here that are not as bright. And those bands represent fire, 4th band, which is your element, your interface, energy interface between your body and your bands and the upper astral. Your 2nd band, which is the biggest one, and it's like this bright color like that, that's your emotional band, your water band. And that's where you react to everything that you get input from, which is happening all the time. So this band is not still at all, man. It is in flux and changing all the time, because even in your sleep, when you're having dreams, you're reacting to those, and those reactions are reflected out into your second band and your emotional band. Your third band, I skipped one. Sorry about that. Your third band is your mental band. That's your air band, and that's where information lives. There's no emotion about that. You're not feeling anything at that point. You're thinking about things. You're gathering information. You're evaluating. It's a very emotionless place, which is really awesome, actually. And then we get down to the first band, and that is your interface between your bands of your aura and your physical body. And the way to think about your aura is not just a light glow that's around you. Your aura is actually your software. And that's where everything that's happening in reality and the physical world starts. And it starts with an idea, an intent, a piece of energy that then grows and gets fed, and then it comes into the material world. But all of those things, your hopes, your dreams, your fears, like you create all of those in your emotional band. That's a really good band to do cleansing on, even if you're doing a quick cleansing to like grab the negative energy out of the fourth band and like do a really nice emotional grounding. And it keeps you centered and keeps you just smooth instead of like rocking around on the ocean, like on just a turbulent sea of waves. Not always easy to do, but it's always good to, like, when things get difficult. Last couple months have been like a real trial in a number of ways for me, man. Just situation after situation after situation that just wanted me to like revert to old habits. Like, man, just like, oh, this is really hard. And I was feeling all sorry for myself. And that's the time to pull out that when you don't feel like practicing because things aren't going good, that's the time you need to practice the most, and pull that stuff out. And the good stuff that you get when you don't listen to that voice, when you reach inside and you give yourself what you actually need, like the rewards are really tenfold. So when it gets tough, remember your tools. Like, don't forget them, man. I talk to people sometimes that I've been given extra stuff to, and it seems like when it's easy, and life's good, it's easy to remember to like, oh yeah, let me do this because it makes me feel really good. But when you feel really bad, that's the time when you really need that to shift that energy and that frequency into a better frequency for you, and a frequency that's going to be attracting joy instead of more stuff. And sometimes, man, when it's a barrage of stuff, you got to pull it out a lot, and you got to practice. You got to take care of that. You got to deal with that, and it can be a challenge sometimes to keep yourself centered. But centered is where you make good decisions and you connect with the source, and you connect with the universal energy that's around to help us. As much as we're in a bath right now, that's just a physical universe thing. That has nothing to do with anything. Hey, Tammy Joe, how are you? Oh, Grant gets out. I'm glad they let you out, bro. Good to see you again, man. All right. So here we go. How are we doing for time? We're doing all right. All right. So we're going to do 3 really deep cleansing breaths. Let me get rid of this. All right, we're going to do 3 really deep cleansing breaths. And I want you to pull with your solar plexus and draw in through your nose and really fill yourself up. But you're not just drawing in air. I want you to visualize that you are drawing in beautiful, golden, warm, healing energy, okay? And to just pack that in as much as you can, and let it just filter down through you and light you up and really brighten up your aura. All right. So here we go. Inhale in through your nose. Golden energy. Use your solar plexus. Really pack it in as much as you can. When you think you're full, put some more. And exhale. Nice and slow. All right, here we go. Inhale. Beautiful golden energy. See your light body glowing. That energy will go to where you need it to heal you. And exhale. Really push it out. All right, one more. Make it count. Here we go. Inhale. Feel the warmth. See the glow. And exhale. All right, stay right there. We're going to focus on your solar plexus now. Imagine you're inside yourself at that little sphere. Your solar plexus is like a little mini sun. Like it's not just a still little disc like the illustrations look like. It's like this spinning sphere of energy, kind of like a quantum particle before it's the wave function has crashed. All right, so I want you to concentrate on drawing all of the energy. Put your attention like you're in the center of yourself, like you are inside your solar plexus, okay? And I want you just to reach out to all directions of your body. And I want you on the inhale to pull all of your energy into your solar plexus. All right, here we go. Inhale, draw. Every direction, 360. Make your little sun bright and grow. One more, inhale. The more you draw, the more you can draw. Inhale. Bright like the sun. Make it so bright you could light the room. One more. Just because it feels so good, we'll do one more. Here we go. Inhale. All right, yummy. Now you're all glowing and bright in there. We're going to do another series of 3 breaths. And on the exhale, I want you to push that energy out from your solar plexus out into your aura and make it bright. Make it like Broadway at midnight in New York City. All right, just make yourself glow. All right, here we go. Inhale, nice deep breath, and push. Brighten it up, make those colors shine. Inhale. And push. Nice. You guys are sparkly. All right, one more. Inhale. And push it out there. All right. We're going to start with the 4th band. Again, that's your energy interface between the upper bands of the astral and your own personal bands and body. All right. And we're going to repeat this 3 times. And I want you to just kind of imagine just your hands are magnetic and you are like scraping down, doing a like a scan of your light body, and anything, any little flecks of goo that don't belong to you, let collect on your hands, send them all the way down into the earth, and just ground them all out. This isn't about evil intent and things like, you go out walking around in the city, man, and a taxi drives by and hits you with a puddle, man, you get wet and nasty and dirty. There wasn't any intent in that. It was just you happen to be around where some goop got on you. So this is what this is about. And just like you go out in the world, you get in crowds, like, energy touches energy. Our fields extend out way past us. All right, so here we go. I ground on a negative energy of any kind, of my own construction or any other, in this frequency or any other, any negative attachments. Scrape it down through there. Anything that doesn't belong to you. Nice, man, I was gooky. Push it down all the way into the earth. A great recycler. All right, here we go. I ground any negative energy of any kind, of my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other. Especially around the back of your neck. Yeah, there we go. Nice scrape right down the chakras. And all the way down. If you can smack the floor with your hands, I do that 3 times. Just get that gook off. All right, one more. I ground any negative energy of any kind, of my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other. Put some oomph behind it. I'll just think about it. Put some energy there. There you go. All right. Now to the gnarly one, man. We're going to skip down to the second band, our emotional band. The importance of keeping your emotional band free of any kind of like negative little Klingons is because that's a place kind of where disease and a lot of really bad things that affect you physically start. All right, let's say you and I had a really knockdown, drag out fight, and we were screaming at each other, said shit we didn't like and hated and wish we hadn't said. And you and I leave, man. And later on, you sit around and think about it and you go, man, that was just really crazy. I can't believe that. And you don't think about it again. You let it go. Don't feed it at all. I, on the other hand, stew about it and think about it and get mad again and again and again. What happens when we have that fight are these little black spots happen in your second band, and they're just really kind of weird concretions of negative energy. And what happened for you was you let it go. So that thing just dried up and flew away like a speck. Didn't even stay there. Or you could have grounded it that night too. I, on the other hand, stood there and stewed about it and refought it and like played the victim and the anger guy. And every time You pull that up and do another circle on that. You're sending energy to that thing, and it grows and it grows and it grows. And if you don't give it up and you keep feeding that and you don't address that, it winds up being this big mass that to me looks like kind of like a brain cell. And it has these little scallops and weird things on it, these little hairs, like little ganglia grow off of those little edges. And if you keep feeding it and those things grow down through your second band, they hit your physical, or your first band, hit your physical body, and all of that energy, man, goes to the weakest place in your physical body. And that's when people have heart attacks unexpectedly, and cancer, and like whatever you would be. Energy is always ergonomics, finding the path of least resistance. So all that energy was yours. You made it, you thought about it, you kept it. So now it comes back to manifest in your physical life, So that's what we're getting ready to really work on and clean up. Okay. All right. Man, really give this some juice, really pour this out, and really scrape yourself clean. I promise you the effort will be so infinitely worth it. All right, here we go. I ground any negative energy of any kind, my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other. I ground confusion, fogginess, lack of clarity, instability, anger, frustration, resentment, anger, frustration, resentment, anger. I ground sadness and deep grief, betrayal, disappointment, loneliness, and last but not least, and please give this one all you've got, fear, the great chameleon, in all its faces and forms. Fear, all its faces and forms. Fear, in all its faces and forms. Yummy. All right, we're moving out to the third band, to the air band, the mental band. All right, I ground any negative thoughts of any kind, of my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other. I ground any unused pattern energy, negative thoughts sent by others, negative thoughts sent by me, obsessive thinking, circle thinking, circle thinking, circle thinking, circle thinking. And last but not least, my favorite, negative gossip. Negative gossip. Just don't do it. All right. Now we're going to move to the band closest to our body, and That's the earth band, and that's where things actually begin to materialize in the real world. All right. So I ground, hang on, let me get really. I ground any negative material blockages. Negative material blockages. Negative material blockages of my own construction or anyone else's in this frequency or any other. I ground any negative blockages in the material world related to my home, my sanctuary, my place of safety. I ground any negative material blockages related to my job, my way of making sustenance. I ground any negative material blockages related to my money and my finances. I ground any negative material blockages related to my money and my finances. I ground any negative material blockages related to my money and my finances. Give this one a push. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. All right, I ground any negative material blockages relating to my health, my physical well-being. I ground any negative material blockages relating to my health or my physical well-being. When you can see your aura, this helps. It helps a lot. All right, and last but not least, I ground any material blockages relating to plans that are currently in the works or jobs and projects that are currently in the works or plans for future projects that are still in development. If you can give it a nice slap on the floor, that'd be really great. All right, now that we've gotten all that clean, everything's all sparkly, we've got a lot of new room for a fresh batch of energy. So with all this crazy magnetic energy going on, we're going to go down to the Earth's core where it is just a cornucopia of goodness. And imagine big pipes, big, huge straws coming off the bottom of your feet. They go all the way down to where the mantle is scraping against the core, and this crackly blue like energy that is just delicious to beyond words. It's absolute creative potential, untainted by any other programming or any stuff from outer space. It's like at the mother lode of where that energy is born. So reach down with your intent. And as we take nice deep breaths, as we draw in, I want you to imagine like you're sucking on a really great milkshake and you're drawing all of that energy right up through those straws, down into up through your feet, your legs, and let it just completely consume you and fill you up. All right. And when I'm doing this for myself, I like to keep doing that process until I get goosebumps. And that's how I know I'm like jacked to the max. So we probably won't be able to go that long on that tonight, but just know to keep going. Don't cut it short. Okay. All right. So here we go. Close your eyes. Imagine the straws down from the bottom of your feet all the way down to the earth's core. Visualize that electric blue, crackly little sparks just flying everywhere, like electric blue lightning that never stops. All right, now we're going to take a really deep breath, and I want you to start drawing that energy up into you. Here we go. Inhale. Give it force. Draw. Feel it flow up into you. One more time. Draw. Inhale. Yeah, bright, crackly blue. Creative potential. Draw. Yeah, you feel it in your calves now, right? Draw. Yeah, there we go. One more. Maybe two more. Draw. Fill yourself up. Fill yourself up. All right, one more for real this time. Draw. All right. Okay, so one of the things I've noticed about this this solar energy is it has a heat to it, like the kind of heat that draws out of you. So I love doing the breathing exercises, and so many of the ones that we do and the ones that I've done with the Tibetan Bowl group on Fridays, they kind of relate off of even numbers like 4, 8, 12 and 4, 8, 16 and 4, 4, 4. And, but all of those I've noticed kind of like generate a bit of heat. A couple of them are specifically geared to cool energy, but most of those for me generate heat. So I've been trying to use those to keep myself centered, especially when you kind of feel the waves. You get those kind of like sonic solar bursts. And there is a really great, and I use the hot energy most of the time because there are so many applications for that. But as with everything, the cold energy is amazing. That's really intense energy and great energy to use for projective stuff, for doing healing work that isn't about like mending things and but like making a tumor go away or skin tags and things like that. Anything that you would want to freeze off and make disappear, super good energy. So I thought, wow, maybe that would work for me. Generate that energy when I feel that blast of heat coming from there. And it in fact did. And I'm going to share that sequence with you tonight. I would suggest doing it a minimum of 12 times. I'm just going to take you through the sequence and show it to you tonight. And it is, interestingly enough, kind of like the Tesla sequence. It's three inhales, 3 hold, or 6 hold, and a 9 exhale, and a 3 hold. All right, so it will be a count of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I use the word exhale to count for 2. All right, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. Don't start the exhale until you hear that word stop, and I start the count on the next one. Then on the exhale of the 9, generate, instead of just letting the air go, generate a really nice hum, like as deep as you can go, and just get a resonance going in you. Okay, and then it'll be 1 inhale, and we'll do 4 of those. All right, Here we go, everybody ready? Inhale. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1. Inhale. Last one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And rest. Be still for just a second. All right. Listen, I'm running a little long, but I have a really the most important part of this is coming up next, and it won't be too long. If anybody really would dig a reading or needs one tonight, show me up down in the comments, and I'll stick around as long as it takes, because I think you guys really this would be really beneficial. All right. I don't really talk about this very often, but this is a really crucial skill to have. And in relation to the sun stuff going on, I think it'd be really, really beneficial on many levels. And we're going to talk about shielding today, and but not a general shield. We're going to talk about filters, and this is the first time I've started to talk about filters. Every time that we've talked about this before, it's been about a general shield and just kind of sending out energy to separate your space and keep your space really pristine and with no other influence blocking out stuff, whatever that needs to be. But the thing with a general shield is it really blocks out everything, right? So there are things you want to be I don't want to be disconnected from everything else. I just want this little thing that's very annoying and making me unhappy. So you can create a filter. And this could stack up to be a whole bunch of filters. I've got a big little stack of mine that are individual frequencies to just block out that frequency. And that is so useful, such a great skill. It's something I don't know. There are some people that can get that super fast, but it is really, really worth the time to kind of get a clue for this. And we're going to talk about frequencies now. And this will be useful not only for this particular thing, but man, if you grasp onto this and really get deep into this, it will make all of your workings a lot better and clear. Okay, so I want to talk to you about I mentioned this a lot, reaching out and getting an energy signature from something. All right, how do you know what to block? Well, there is part of your clairvoyant intuitive sense. When you get to a point where you can recognize energies and different kinds of energies, if there's a particular flow being sent your way, you can reach out with your intent and your awareness and kind of sample that energy rather than trying to run away from it. Kind of sample that energy, but not you sit in, it's more like you get a snapshot or a screenshot of what that energy is. And that encapsulates the essence of how that energy is vibrating. So you bring that back to your consciousness. And as you're sending out, like what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into that place. It's all charged up now that we just like jacked up with all that good juice. We're going to send that out and create a filter shield all around us, 365, that only relates to that sun energy. Okay. All right. All right, I want you to close your eyes, take a nice breath, let it out, and sink down into blank space, the place where there's nothing and everything. It's still. And you become aware of your body, but you're floating above the earth. And you're facing the sun. And you see the little solar flares happening, a little ejection happens. And with your intent, with your energy, you reach out and sample that. Click, get yourself a snapshot of it. You don't have to understand the numbers or anything deep about it. Just with your will and your intention to have its identification, grab it. Pull it back to you, okay? All right. Now, with the awareness of that, I want you to perceive the particles that are happening, the magnetic particles that are happening all around us, just bombarding us from the sun. You can feel their heat. They're bright, supercharged. And I want you to go into your solar plexus. And I want you to push, like imagine that little frequency thing that you got, like right there. And you're pushing through that frequency so it tones your energy, and you're pushing that out into a bubble all around you. And the energy is still coming from the sun. You keep taking a breath and pushing out. The energy gets a little less. Another breath. Pushing out. Even less. And you just keep going until you've charged that field around you to negate that energy, to cancel that out. And you can kind of perceive yourself now with that, like you're a little bubble and all that energy is flowing around you, not even touching you at all, right? Excellent. All right. So now we're going to come back in our awareness inside and come back to earth. Come back to your body. Slowly let your awareness brighten up again to your real world. All right. All right, so let me do a little review. I gave you guys a ton of stuff tonight. Remember the Om, like this will be on like YouTube anytime. So like if you want to grab some of this, do the replay on it. It's like you'll be glad you did. So we did the Om, we did the aura, constructs. We did the grounding of the aura. We did a charge up of your solar plexus and your aura. And last but not least, we did a projection of a filter shield specific and a breathing exercise 3693, a minimum of 12 times. That'll start to generate some cold energy that's really useful for that. And it's been my best solution so far towards that. I'll keep you guys going as long as it's going, and I'm developing new stuff. And then last but not least was the filter shielding. But in that specific filter shielding, just chew on the concept of reaching out with your intention to something else's energy. It could be another person, it could be a tree, it could be a cloud, it doesn't really matter. It could be anything. Everything has a field. So start practicing reaching out with your awareness to sense that field and be able to grab that field. No, it's not impossible. Yes, you absolutely can do it. No, it's not impossible. Yes, you absolutely can do it. All right, there we go. Okay, my guys. Looks like I got a couple of readings up here. Yeah, let me bust out the tarot for this. Woo! By the way, before I forget, if you're doing a grounding for someone, and I find this turquoise really amazing mala my friend Leah made for me, and all the little beads on here are turquoise, and turquoise has it, and that's why the Navajos and a lot of Native Americans use turquoise to ward off evil and negative energy, and it really does work. It's worked for me most of my life, and anytime I'm doing a really massive grounding or something for someone else, I make sure I wear this and keep my field kind of protected. So just a super easy, like right now, man, if you have any, take advantage of it, use it. All right, Tammy Joe, this one's for you. Deep breath and focus really hard. Okay. Words of wisdom for my friend Tammy Joe. Words of wisdom for my friend Tammy Joe. Words of wisdom for my friend Tammy Joe. Runny nose. All right, first card, the Ace of Swords. This is the card that starts the whole air column, and this is the archetype of the element of air. So this is where plans, this is where the inception of figuring out how you want to actually manifest something you've been thinking about but haven't acted on. This is the energy to begin that plan and start to get that stuff down. Yeah, and make sure it's actually what you want to be doing. This is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands represents it's like you work and you work and you work and you work and you work to get something, to build something. Okay, here's a really great example. There's a guy who's like an amazing musician, and he has a wonderful recording career, and he wants to expand. Now he's a producer. Now he's a record mogul. Now he owns a whole record company, and he's always keeping that and getting new artists. And he's like so consumed with now what that machine that he built wants from him that he doesn't get to make music anymore, which is the whole reason he started doing it. So just as you're pushing your plans really, really hard, just double check that that's exactly what you want, and be prepared for a little pushback, a little pushback from people around you that might not be so excited about plans coming true. And then the last card is the moon. And, the moon represents fantasies and dreams and creativity. And combined with that ace of swords, that would say that there are some really creative, great ideas that are swirling around you at all the time right now. And one of the greatest, I don't know if you keep a dream journal, if you remember your dreams, try to work on that, because there's a lot of really crazy good information, answers, inspiration, new paths that are circling around in your dreamscape. So be aware of that, and also be aware of like right in the morning after you wake up and you realize that you're aware, but you're not really awake yet. Your eyes are still closed and you kind of like start to scope the world. That is the most fertile spot for finding a new creative idea that I've ever experienced. So just jack up your dream awareness and start making those plans and be creative about it, man. Maybe look for some new ways. If you've been thinking about it already, look for some new ways to execute that plan and see what you come up with, man. All right. Wow. There you go, Linda. Had a hot flash. That 369, that'll work. All right, Dennis, my brother, this one's for you. Nice deep breath. Bring it down to blank. And let's connect. All right, words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. All right. Wow, interesting reading. All right, so the first card's the Hermit. And the Hermit is always about kind of like separating yourself from the crowd and looking for social attention and going deep inside, man, to find your true self, to find your inner light, to discover your true connection to the source. And as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're like, the thing about the Hermit, the magician's all like, yes, I'm the magician. Look at it. Lightning bolts and all this stuff. But the Hermit's like all inside and like just sucking it in and letting that spiral grow inside of him. So just keep adding fuel to the fire and letting your glow your light glow brighter and brighter. That's the thing about the one of the meanings about this card is that like the hermit separates himself, he goes off, and like just all of a sudden somebody realizes that they see this crazy light coming out of the hermit's house, and they go over to see what's happening, and there he is practicing, and the solar plexus is lighting up the room, and it's like, and this guy's like blown away, and the next thing you know, like every time the hermit's going out, there's a line of people asking him to learn from him. All right, the next card is the Eon, and the Eon represents like letting go of the rotting bodies of the past, man. Anything that's accumulated. And one of the images for this is the angel blowing the trumpet over the graveyard where the graves are open and all those spirits and bodies are like going off, and that represents like those are the things that have remained buried within your context. This card for me also has a special significance because it relates to your ally. I talk about the bands all the time, and like we kind of operate in this reality, in this frequency, like on 6 bands, but above that are another set of bands and another set of bands and another set of bands, and on each one of those are realities. Those are complete worlds and realities where you are existing simultaneously with this reality and the realities above and above and above infinitely, all the way back to the source. So connection to that part of you elevates your abilities and your awareness and your connection to your next level of evolution. So a lot of there are a lot of frequencies of study that talk about the holy guardian angel. There have been a lot of names put on this, but all magical people are connected to that part of themselves, and it's a wondrous adventure to go on that journey. All right, and last but not least, so get in touch, because this is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is kind of like I love this card because like the Ace of Cups represents where you've like decided you're ready for connection and love. Maybe you've been kind of like out of the loop, or you've had a bad relationship or whatever, man, but you've decided now, I'm kind of feeling that stir. But you don't know anybody right now, and like there's nothing really happening in the immediate zone. And you're taking a walk after work one day, and you go and stop into a little bar to have a glass of wine, and you look up, and across the bar, like you connect eyes with this person, and there's this like electrical spark. And you feel this crazy connection. You start talking, and it really just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And this card represents the moment when you realize that, like, wow, I'm in love. There's a difference between in love and love. In love is that crazy, like addictive, where every part of you is just all like discombobulated, and that's a great feeling. That's a wonderful feeling. Actually, there have been so many movies, stories, books, and people killed over that particular issue. This whole reading is really talking about your metaphysical pursuits, and not letting and really diving in, not just not letting it wane, but pushing forward and making that connection with your ally and your higher evolved self. And that will just be a really like love inducing scenario. On the real world, things are really good with you in that zone. So, keep up the good work, and, let the old stuff go. All right, there we go. Let's see. You're welcome, Tammy Joe. Dennis says, oh my goodness, this answers my question on so many different levels. You're very welcome, man. We were plugged in tonight, man. It was a really good night. Yeah. All right. So for those of you that aren't sick of hearing me talk already, I'm going to be on another podcast tomorrow night called Two Psychics. Of course, I haven't. I don't have a specific link for you at this moment, but there's a couple of notices that are all over my Facebook pages. So if you're interested, come scope it out. And always glad to have you guys' energy around and with me, man. Really appreciate it. I didn't get a chance to say anything to Mr. Zen. I was sort of on a roll there. So if you're still around, my brother, good to see you. Glad you showed up. And yeah, Linda, I'm really glad your hot flash worked out for you. All right, so it was chock full. Hope some of it sticks. And let me know what you think. Also, this won't happen next week, but the week after that, I'm going to go to a new time, and I'm going to bump down to 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock and see if I can keep some of you old geezers up and ready to play a little longer. All right. As always, so grateful for your sharing energy and your metaphysical path, and getting a chance to kind of create our little family here has become a really very important part of my life. So thank you very much. Next week again, Minty May. We're going to have fun, dual readings, talking angels and magic and energy and everything wonderful. All right, here we go, man. So we joyously come to the end of our adventure this evening and bid everyone on their way we thank the angels and our guides for their knowledge and wisdom and sharing their love of the source with absolute gratitude for all of it, absolute unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, be in the light.